Yeah. Yes, good morning. I've seen some very disturbing tapes. Rather good afternoon. Depends on where you are viewing from. It's a very disturbing tape between the X-Men and some citizens of those states. It's very disturbing and it's terrible video I was seeing. But it's two sides to the coin. I think that the government has the bulk of the blame in these things. Imagine a state or a country where people don't have a database for drivers who drives in a road. These are people more like, they have to be documented, in case there's accident, in case anything happens. But people drive without plate number. And even some people drive and cover their plate numbers. What is the essence of doing that? I saw that once in my life in America, and no more. It's only the American president that have the privilege to cover his plate number, but no more, because people protest about it. How can even a local government chairman, how can even some people who are selling lands or some thugs have the right to block their plate number? And this is where we are getting it wrong, okay? Now, for what you saw that happened with the X-Man and that ungentleman and not a gentleman, because you can't be a gentleman and strip yourself naked in the presence of everybody without having respect for your wife. My heart goes for that woman. She was pregnant, for God's sake. I mean, if the X-Men could not escalate the situation, I think the man should have respected the wife and behave himself properly. That's why I said the bulk of the blame go to the government. If the government had a central base where people who drive stupidly or unlawfully commit an offense, the EDSMA doesn't have to drag them by their shirt. No. You give them a ticket, they will report in your office. If you don't report in your office, the next time they're on the road, you tap into your computer, you see there is an offender, you revoke his driver's license, you impound the car. You use him as a precedent, and other people will learn from it. But when the government is not organized, all they care about is stealing ballot buses and mistreating their citizens and not doing what they're supposed to be doing, how would the people respect those who are employed by the government? But I want to plead with my people today that whoever that the government has given right to do certain things, to create normalities in the society, we should respect them in regarding our status. It's only here where some people will just blow sarin because they are campaigning for an election and they will not respect the X-Men, where the commissioners will not do the same thing, where the government officials will not do the same thing. If you that make the law, you don't respect the law, you break the law, who do you expect to respect the law? When Speaker of House of Assembly can break the traffic light. We should lead by examples. So this counter of accusation, accusing the X-Man that they took the man to somewhere else, it was lie. It was a false accusation. The X-Men took the man to their office. If you look at the word clearly, you will see a sign of VIO. It's not all the time you must criticize government. When they do what is wrong, yes, you can speak out. But we must respect them in order for us to earn our respect. I think I have a suggestion again for the government that whoever you are employing henceforth, they must all take what they call mental competence. That they have some psychology background. Verify them. Because if they did psychology, those two women who were screaming on their phone, hurling Lexington tires, they could have de-escalated the situation by assisting the pregnant woman. Maybe that one would have consoled the man who was losing his encephalon. Listen, a lot of people are on drugs in this country because of depression. It is not everybody that is dressed or driving that is normal. So you, the EDSMA, you, the police, you, the soldier, please find a way properly to escalate the situation rather by escalating. And finally, the government of Edo State, perhaps the federal government of Nigeria, should be ashamed of themselves. In the 21st century, we do not have computer that can trace the offender. We don't even have a fingerprint. We don't have nothing. When we see police, what comes to our mind first is they are going to exploit us. We don't have respect for them. And they won't have respect for us because the government, whether it's federal or the state, does not treat the police or the military or their people well. They are not trained. They don't spend money on them. Imagine now. Imagine. They're speculating. You want to buy 360 Jeep, a total of 57 point something billion. And your justification is that it's government property. Do we need Jeep where we cannot feed? When our police are not trained? When our doctors are jackbarring to other states? Come on now. What is wrong with the leadership of this country? We better do what is right. Otherwise, in the next 20 years or less, in the next 20 years or less, I don't want to be a prophet of doom. You will have half of your citizens in a meta home on Colos. Thank you.